The brainstem.
Testing, 1, 2. Okay, you guys hear me now. Okay, apparently there was some kind of bug in there because apparently my stream deck also doesn't work. Okay, so now I am going back to here.
Okay, das heißt, ich komme um 10:30 einfach wieder.
Ja.
Okay, gut. Dann, bis dann.
Alright. Joe?
Yes.
Peter's phone shut down because it overheated.
Okay.
So he says he will be back at 10:30.
Okay.
He will come back here. So in the meantime.
Okay. In the meantime, then we're just gonna do. Okay. Do we have sound now? Huh?
Oh, wait, it does work now. Yes.
Okay, so we have sound when we have on. Okay, so if I switch over to. If I switch over to the Discord screen, then the sound is off. But I don't know what the problem is. Switch is faded to a lower volume. Okay, wait. Let me check again. And how about now? Do we have sound? Yes, no? Oh, nice! Jesus Christ. Yeah, sorry, I really have no idea what the problem was. But that is probably some kind of bug in Streamlabs OBS, so I definitely need to check that out. So, yeah, I'm very sorry. Yeah, Crisis and Stormtrooper, Stormtrooper, sorry, yeah, Speedfreak. Can you make some noise or not? Because I don't know if we can hear you.
Test.
Yes, test.
Do you hear them?
Test.
Working. Yes, all clear. Nice.
Yes, cool.
So finally, well, we just heard that Stormtrooper's telephone just shut down because it overheated quite badly.
So right back.
So he'll be back in half an hour. Yeah. First of all, thank you very much for joining into the first official Gabba Disco stream. Yeah, what are we going to do here? We are definitely going to talk about who you guys are, what is Gabba Disco, how did Gabba Disco came to be, and yeah, why is Gabba Disco live? So yeah, let's start with Crisis. Can you tell a little bit more about yourself?
Yes, so I'm Crisis from the Netherlands, and I've always made music in my own particular style. But I didn't release it anywhere because I didn't find a good label to release it. But the only person who shared my vision was Martin. So that's how I came in touch with him.
So okay, so you came in touch with him, but yeah, what kind of music did you made in the past? Before you
Well,
made...
it was always just happy hardcore and yeah, real gabber. I think I always made gabber music.
Okay, always the hardest stuff. But
yeah, always the hardest stuff.
Okay, but on the moment that you met Martin,
yeah,
how did it came to be, and that you also wanted to do the real Gabba Disco stuff?
Well, really, I sent him a demo in like 2015, and it was like hard tech.
Yeah.
But we didn't release anything back then. It was just like he liked it, and He thought maybe I can release something in Japan or something.
Okay, yeah.
But I released one EP on Psycho Records.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Ich bin ein Speedfreak.
Yeah.
And after that, Martin, he asked me if I wanted to be part of Gabba Disco because he's doing another new thing. And then he asked me.
So yeah, so this is the start of the story with you in Gabba Disco.
Yeah.
So, and up until now, do you know how many releases you have released on Gabba Disco?
I think we are at number 30.
You're on number 30 already? You already released 30 tracks.
Well, I think there's more because there's also the remixes. What's it called?
Probably too many to count.
Yeah, too many to count because I have 2 tracks on Gabba Disco 8. So I think there's maybe 33 or 34 tracks of mine released already.
Nice, nice. And we just see that Stormtrooper is sipping away his whiskey. And
Yep.
how's your phone?
It cooled down a bit, so I thought I'd give it another shot, and didn't want to leave you guys alone.
Crisis just told his story about how he came to Gabba Disco and what he did before. Can you introduce yourself to the rest of the channel?
Okay. My name is Peter. I'm from Rosenheim, Germany. I love reading, cycling, and taking walks in the mountain. Nah, that's actually not really true. I've been doing awful music since I was like, I don't know, 14 or something.
Yep.
And I have a pretty long history with Martin. We met on a internet forum back in the early 2000s. That was speedcore.de.
Yes.
And he said he liked my music. I have potential, but I sound pretty crappy. And that is when he started to be my mentor, kind of. Yeah. And we started doing music together.
Yeah.
And so it all just evolved throughout the years, and now here we are with Gabba Disco.
So, so since you are making music, you always stay with Gabba Disco? Or not?
No. No. I have my own label called Rave Music, where I'm doing 90s focused rave stuff with modern bass drums.
Yeah.
And I used to do industrial, but to be honest, at some point I kind of lost connection to this sound because it was just Tool-like, and I wanted to give it real content. I wanted to have. I still love hard music, but I wanted to have the music to tell a story or to have a melody or something else than just noisy percussions. And that is when Gabba Disco came in, and rave music, which actually started at the same time, like around 2017, I think.
Okay, but if you go over to the transition with Gabba Disco, it's a totally different kind of music. It's more happy, it's more memey and cheesy. How was that transition for you?
Well, again, it wasn't really a transition because back when Martin and I started doing music, it always had an ironic touch.
Okay.
We always packed tons of samples into our tracks and made those samples tell a story. Most of the time, pretty stupid stories, but it was just audio entertainment. It was fun to listen to, not only making you move on the dance floor, but also wanting to listen to it at home and giving attention to all the details we packed in it. So actually, what we're doing now is just the 2020 version of what we did in 2005.
Oh, that's nice. So you stay true to the style that you actually love, then.
Yeah, and if you see it that way, what we did back in 2005 was just an update version of what Martin did in 1994, because he always was into that ironic vibe, hard stuff, but with a wink.
Yeah, that is definitely the Speedfreak that I know of from way in the past. And of course, let's talk about the legend himself, Mr. Speedfreak. Who is a Speedfreak? Of course, everybody knows who the Speedfreak is, but let's do a proper introduction.
Okay, I'm the Speedfreak. My name is Martin. I released my first vinyl actually exactly 30 years ago this year. I went through several styles of electronic music there, especially through all the styles which came up in the 90s, but I always stayed with a hard sound. But to me, even when hardcore started, I soon created my own label, Shockwave, just to give a little difference. I have maybe a different attitude towards this whole hardcore thingy. I see it more in a cynic way and like to express that in my music as well. So back in '94, I think, on Shockwave Records, I released the first Gabba disco release, which was pretty dodgy back then, and to by now it's not aged so great, but it was limited by the technical.
That's lightly put.
And yeah, so this was actually my first. Yeah, when I invented that stupid name, because it was neither Gabba nor disco, it was a strange hybrid of everything. Basically, same we're doing now. But later I changed away from this happy sound and with a Frenchcore, which was all pretty serious, and I had fun in early Frenchcore when it was still a bit more industrial without melodies and more technical things was more appealing to me than when it started changing after 2010. I then felt completely displaced in the scene I've been working in for 10 years. There were new acts coming up from Holland, for example, which turned Frenchcore into something I don't feel well there anymore.
I understand, because the Frenchcore that I am used to, there was back in the day, like in, I don't know, like 2005, 2006, around that era, with Radium and Micropoint. Those are the guys that I grew up with, and also with Mutante. And then suddenly, somewhere in 2010, you had a Frenchcore shift, and it suddenly sounded really different.
Yeah.
So I do understand what you mean. But Gabba Disco. The start of Gabba Disco is because you are making stuff that you already like and the stuff that you really want to do. But
that was the next thing I wanted to say, because I felt so wrong in that scene. I also felt like I have to be myself. This is there were like 3 years I've been producing Frenchcore without real dedication, and I felt that's not what's inside me, and so I made this decision to call it a day and start something completely fresh based on what I've done in the past, but with the possibilities of today. And yeah, that was the kickstart for the new Gabba disco, actually.
So let's say the start of the Gabba disco. How do you felt with it? Is it like a whole relief that you said, "Oh, finally, I can do something new, something that I really want to do," or is it more, I call it, a bit scary at first?
No, not at all. It was, yeah, maybe regarding how people might react to it if I switch styles or something. But producing it was, to me, was complete freedom. Like I finally could do whatever I want because there was no style boundaries at that point. So it could be built up on any combination of elements. That's what I like in my music. What I liked all the time is bringing musical elements together which are not planned to go together, but work together when put together. So many togethers.
Yeah, together forever. But okay, yeah, Crisis and Stormtrooper. Yeah, you guys
Yes.
have been in Gabba Disco for some time now. Yeah, how do you feel as being one of the main guys behind Gabba Disco? Because there must be like some kind of pride, I guess.
Yeah, of course.
I could say great. Is that what you want to hear?
That is something that I do want to hear. Yeah, but that's me.
Yeah, it's awesome, man.
No, because for me, yeah, I've been a fan of Gabba Disco music already for some time now.
Okay,
because
yes, I think we started in February 2018.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yep.
so it's been around for like 3 years almost.
Damn. Yeah, it's almost 3 years indeed.
Yeah.
No, because the first time I
Time flies.
heard some Gabba Disco music, that was actually with Francois, with Mutante. And the stuff that he played, it was really awesome. He sent me some of his Gabba Disco releases, and I was like, whoa, what is this? And they said, yeah, you should check out Gabba Disco. And since then, I fell in love with it. And yeah, for me, it's a huge honor to be able to do an official show together with you guys. And yeah, this is a huge honor for me. That's all I can say about it.
Well, you're welcome. We are honored to be on the show with you.
Exactly.
So, but Gabba Disco. How many releases you have so far? Like 40 or 50 of them right now?
I think Martin knows exactly.
Yeah, I will check.
Oh, by the way, to everybody here at the Twitch channel, if you have any questions for these four, please state them in the chat, and then they can probably answer some questions of you.
These four?
Oh yeah, these
40.
three. I count like 4 different kind of cameras here, so I say 4, but this for these 3.
Which one of us is two?
The one with the most experience, I guess.
Oh, that's Martin.
That's Martin.
So, but Martin, how many releases do you have so far?
All releases. There was one single track release also. 43.
43, damn, in 3
Wow.
year time. That's quite a lot.
That's a lot.
44 next Friday.
Oh, so you're here already. So number 44 will be out there next Friday. So you should go over to bandcamp.com/gabberdisco. Yeah, where you can also find all their releases, including their new ones. But yeah, let's talk about the releases what you did the last month, actually. There were 3 releases, if I remember correctly. Or were there 2?
Usually it's 2. I think it was 2 last month because
Nice to see.
the fan service.
Well, we had the fan
this month.
service part 2.
Yes.
Yeah, but this was this month. Already at the 6th, I think.
Oh yeah,
and,
right. It was delayed.
And how about the Japan Goes Gabba Disco? That was also this month, or was it last month?
No, that one was from September.
Oh, that was even September. That's even longer. to
Yep.
go. Oh, so. Yeah, well, let's see. Let me grab a tier for. So, yeah. What are the future plans for next month?
Next month will be a free EP, of course, like it's tradition, around Christmas. but there's no Christmas concept behind it like with the first one. So could be Christmas songs, could be strange stuff.
Easter songs.
Easter songs.
Are there any Easter songs?
No, we have one remark from Melanpon. He doesn't have a question, but he just wants to say that Stormtrooper and Speedfreak that he love your old works on Absurd Audio. Especially Ars Attacks was really good release. He remember listening to those 4 tracks in 2007 on his first year in university. So he wanted to say thank you to you guys and for all the good times.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's see. And Power to All, he kind of need to listen to Crisis and Stormtrooper. But he think...
Of course.
Yeah, you know, you should listen to those, to these artists because they are really good and really talented. And yeah, they are Gabba Disco people. So yeah. Hey, but I realized that we are fans of some kind of stuff because everybody's here a fan of Star Wars, apparently. And
Stormtrooper is.
I think Peter.
Oh yeah, there's also maybe a good question to ask. Crisis.
Yes.
How did your name came to be?
Well, that's we go back 20 years, I think, because I was releasing at a label back then.
Yeah.
It was just industrial hardcore, and the label boss, he told me you need an artist name. So I think DJ Chris would be a good name, and he said it's a bit too corny. So he said, how about Crisis, but just with the CHRISIS. But I didn't like that one, so I thought, how about with the Y? And so Crisis came to be.
Nice. Stormtrooper?
Yeah, the thing is, there is no story behind my artist name. Yeah, it's kind of strange because I don't have any memory why I exactly use that name. There is a story to each name I use for producing, except Stormtrooper. I know that I first used it like 1998 when I was playing at parties in Germany.
Yeah.
But I have no clue why I decided to use Stormtrooper. I mean, I guess it was because of Star Wars, but I don't remember the moment I said, "Oh, I should call myself Stormtrooper." Yeah. But for every other artist name I ever used, I have a really good story. So, ask me about one of the others.
Okay, but you are not an Imperial Stormtrooper because those miss and you hit hard.
Yeah, I hit pretty good.
Speedfreak. Should we talk about your 40 different kind of names?
Which ones? No, Freak was never related to any illegal substance or use of it. It was just because I had always had the elements in my Speedfreak tracks change really quickly and not run for too long throughout a track. So that's why.
Okay, but the Speedfreak is your main name because among everybody from Gabba Disco, I think you are the one that has the most how I call it gigs behind your name. You also played at the biggest festivals. Also, did you play some Gabba Disco stuff on those bigger festivals, or?
I twice actually played Gabba Disco at Masters of Hardcore. I played, basically since the label started and there was enough material produced for sets. Since that time, at the beginning I played 1 or 2 Gabba Disco tracks, then went to the usual Frenchcore, and by the time I tested it more and more, and had the Gabba Disco parts run longer, and lately before the Corona thingy, I finally had bookings, small bookings, but interesting ones, purely for Gabba Disco. So this was building up really great. But yeah, we will see if it can reconnect there.
And Peter, while you are playing your Gabba Disco sets, how do the people react?
They react pretty good. Actually, I'm not playing pure Gabba Disco sets, but I always build up. I start, most of the time I start like 150, 160 with some industrial, some rave music stuff. I like to mix it all up a bit. And most of the time I finish my sets with like 2 or 3 Gabba Disco tunes. And that was always a really good finish because after the hard stuff and like percussive stuff, they had some fun stuff to end the set with that always put people in a really good mood. Reactions were always great.
Yeah, and Crisis, you also DJ or not? Because I'm not entirely sure.
First time I played Gabba Disco was in Japan last year.
Oh, nice.
So I'm I didn't play any gigs, and then the Corona thing came, so I didn't get the chance.
But you did play it in Japan.
I did play in Japan 2 times.
2 times.
Yes.
Yeah, tell me your story about your gig in Japan then. Because I know that those people, they like the Gabba Disco.
Oh, they really like it. Yes.
But
well, we did see a lot of Japan, of course, because the first day we came there, I think we had a flight of a lot of hours. I don't know how much it was, but maybe, what was it, 16 hours? So we were really tired.
Mm-hmm. But
we ate something and we go to bed. Next day we gotta play.
Yeah.
So I think we had to wait really long till we started to play. But I know the people are really happy to see us because they've been following Gabba Disco since the beginning.
Because was this like a Gabba Disco party, or was it that somebody just booked you guys?
I think the main feature was Gabba Disco because one of the parties was named Tokyo Gabba Disco.
Oh.
Was the second night. I think the first one was mixed, but with a little Gabba Disco aspect, and the second one was purely Tokyo Gabba Disco.
Yeah.
Oh, I can imagine that was like totally crazy.
Yeah, so a lot of people, they came to us. They say, I listen to your music and we love Gabba Disco. It's really nice to see that it's really living there, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's, when you go to Japan, it's more, Gabba Disco is more appreciated over there.
Yes, because they are in Japan. I know that they are already really open-minded about different kind of hardcore styles.
By the way, I think Peter crashed again.
It's frozen, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, there goes his camera again. So I think he'll be back in 10 minutes or so. The telephone has to cool down. But there he went. So, but how many people were there at both parties?
How many people were there?
Around 50, 60 or something like that?
No. I think the first party was maybe 50 or 60, but the second party was a lot.
Oh,
yeah, 200 plus, I think.
Yeah,
because there were 2 floors. The above in the entrance area there was like a lounge floor. So this was packed the whole time, and the dance floor was not the biggest, but really stuffed. So yeah, I would guess 200 plus.
Damn, that's really nice. Yeah, and which artists were there?
Okay, for the Osaka party, the first one I do not really remember. but Tokyo Gabba Disco, there was Dustwalk who was partly organizing this also. And DJ Sharpnell played a VR set there. It was so great. Yeah, and the others, I think Crisis is just looking them up.
But
If I can find it.
was Peter there as well or not?
No, Peter was not there. Well, I can see for the Tokyo Gabba Disco there was Dust Fox, Short Bass Idiots, Locktech, DJ Sharpnell, of course, Lolly Style Gabbers, Technician Crew.
No, it's
I
already,
think that was it.
it's already an epic Japanese lineup.
Yeah. And of course there was us.
But it was only both of you or somebody else also came along from the Gabba Disco crew?
Just the two of us.
Not just the two of us. Yes.
And welcome back,
Right.
Peter.
Yeah, another try. Let me just sound again. Motherfucking mobile. Alright.
Maybe you should pour some whiskey over your mobile, let it cool down.
Yeah.
So, and also, apparently you guys are also fan of Final Fantasy. Because if I hear on some of the Gabba Disco tracks, there are a lot of pop culture references and also a lot of Final Fantasy in there, every now and then.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we are.
Nice. So, which games did you already play from Final Fantasy?
7 original, 8, 9, 10.
Well, if you ask me, I think I've played all of them. Well, except for the new 7 remake then. I still have to play that one.
Okay, I played 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and the remake.
Oh, and how about 14?
Haven't started
Nah.
it yet. I bought it in
But
the...
14 was the online one, right?
Yeah.
The MMO. I think I
Well,
played
I think
it just for 1 month, and after that I was like, nah, this is. I'm not really into that kind of games. You know.
Oh, from Melonpon, I need to ask if you guys have ever played Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, back then when
Oh, nice!
it released.
So, yeah, Melon, apparently we all played Chrono Trigger back then.
And Secret of Mana, of course.
Oh, that's a nice one.
I
Definitely.
wonder if anybody ever played Chrono Cross, like the sequel from Chrono Trigger.
Back then I never had a PlayStation.
A friend of mine actually did. I didn't have it myself, but a friend of mine had Chrono Cross.
They say it's good, maybe even better than the first one, but
Seriously?
I don't think it can be better because it's already perfect.
Yeah, Chrono Trigger was really good.
Yeah, story-wise and the whole gameplay, it's like Final Fantasy, but it's different. Now, what I definitely do like about Chrono Trigger is like those dual attacks and the triple attacks.
Yeah.
Oh, power to all, this one goes out to you. So yeah, but also you guys have a lot of pop culture references to the 80s and 90s. Because apparently those are also the music styles that you also really love.
I do. Basically, since March, I'm only listening to 80s stuff. I was
Yeah, for me it's
80s
for me it's
started
mostly
making records
80s
then,
stuff.
so-
Well, I'm an 80s kid, so I think that explains it.
But did you ever use 70s stuff in Gabba Disco tracks?
Yeah, sure.
We did, yes.
Which is most 70s.
I think we did, but it's actually kind of hard because
the sound quality is not so good, and it's harder to extract vocals or instrumentals, and most of the time you don't find those separately. So yeah, it's kind of harder to use music the older it gets.
That is true. That is so true. Crisis. What are your favorite hobbies to do next to making music?
My favorite hobbies. Yeah, I like to fitness, but because I cannot go to the fitness.
Yeah.
Because of Corona, I cannot get my gains. So that's it.
Well, Peter's already flexing it.
Well, he works out. He works out at home.
Oh, Peter, you have a gym at home then?
No, I have a 1-year-old son and I need to carry him around all the time.
Well, that is a good workout, I guess.
It is. It keeps your mind sharp because you need to be focused all the time and see what he's doing, and you need to be quick, so reactions are really on point, and you get quite the stamina when you carry him around like for an hour. Yeah, it's a whole workout.
Martin, except for making music and what is eating the what is the jelly meat?
What?
Yeah,
The what?
you posted some pictures about it. Last time I asked you, was it sweet or hearty? It was like a meat cake.
It was hearty. It was actually some ground beef, some on top of some flour made of pretzels,
Yeah.
and around there was white cabbage, and it was baked in the oven. It was really yummy. It's not a traditional food here. Actually, we have this cooking book from Austria, and it was one of their recipes. And very good. Yeah, I like cooking, gardening, and that's it. It draws me back to music.
So cooking and gardening is good for the mind, by the way, because
Exactly.
it relaxes yourself, but you can stay creative. Just over here, Jimmy says Gabba Kitchen. Hey, yeah, that's maybe a good idea. Just use some samples from Gordon Ramsay, Jamie Oliver for a future track.
Or maybe if you put the concept of Gabber Disco to Gabber Kitchen, you would put stuff together that did not belong together and was not mentioned, was not meant to be together, but somehow it fits.
That's how
Like schnitzel and Nutella.
do that.
Martin, what do you say? You just fell out.
What?
Martin, you just fell away.
You don't hear me? Yeah, hello?
Yeah,
Hello?
now I hear you better.
Okay. No?
Yeah.
Good?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now.
Now? Microphone check 1, 2.
Hey, but can we maybe do that one time? That during a live stream that you are cooking something that we can see you cook.
Okay.
Well, cooking with a Speedfreak.
Okay. Let's try that.
So, future plans for Gabba Disco. Of course, now we are still in the Corona situation, so you guys cannot really do much than only making music. But do you have any plans for next year to party, if there are actually some parties going on?
Of course, yeah. That's obvious.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, there are a lot of parties from 2020 that were delayed to 2021. Let's see if those happen, because no one can tell by now. And yeah, we all need to wait until everything gets back to kind of normal, because up till then, plans don't really make sense.
Yeah, I still have a Masters of Hardcore somewhere at the horizon together with Bonsoir.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I doubt it. This is March and
Together with Francois. So you're going as Nukem or just as you're both as...
our real names.
Okay.
Playing, I guess, a mixed set of...
Martin and Francois.
Yeah, exactly. DJ Martin and DJ Francois.
And Crisis?
What? Do I go there? No. I go as DJ Chris.
Oh, by the way,
No.
people here in the chat, Thomas Freke is Acid Video. He is the one that made the video that you saw on the mix before. So if you haven't done so yet, say hi to him. And hi, Thomas.
Video was really good, by the way.
It was definitely good.
Yeah.
But I did saw on the Discord that somebody's almost had epilepsy. So yeah, but then again, it is done by Acid Video, so you have to go tripping.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe sometime we can get Thomas here in the chat as well. So then he can tell his side of the story about how he came to Gabba Disco and came to be. Oh, by the way, I am streaming this show on every medium so far, but this is the only time that I'll stream everywhere. For the next month and the months after, I'll be only streaming here on Twitch. So this is just a disclaimer. Crisis. I heard that you are already hoarding on some tracks.
Maybe I'm gonna have a break sometime next year.
Nice. So we can.
And why is that?
Because I'm expecting a little baby. I'm not telling
Whoa!
what. Who? That's the only thing I can tell. It's gonna be a little baby.
Well, it's more than enough, but we can expect some work of you for the upcoming months.
Yes, of course. There's one coming, and Martin already said this Friday there will be an EP by me solo. It's gonna be totally different from the usual stuff. So.
Oh, I'm definitely really excited to hear that one. Well, Peter.
Yes.
And are you hoarding on
Yes.
some tracks as well, or are you just looking at? We'll see where it goes.
No, at the moment hoarding is not really possible because, as I said, I have a 1-year-old boy and he's taking most of my time. So I'm sneaking out every now and then, but in the middle of the night to have a few quiet hours in the studio to get some stuff done. But it's hardly enough to do all the music that is scheduled. So hoarding is not possible at the moment, but it's also not necessary. I just go with the flow and drink whiskey.
Drink whiskey, that's good. And Martin.
Yeah, I can never hoard because I take too long with each track product. So when one release is out, I have to start with the next one. But I have plans personally to do some different styles on the Gabba Disco second floor label to try out some authentic 1980s thingies.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now first is the December release and I've not yet started. So this comes first and then I think about a proper concept. But you can expect, especially on that second floor label, a bit of more change in styles for the future.
Okay. Also, maybe a good question. You just mentioned the Gabba Disco second floor, but what is the difference between the main Gabba Disco initiative and the Gabba Disco second floor?
The main Gabba Disco label basically is always the same artists, us, like the core family of Gabba Disco, and if possible all together on each release. Does not always work out each one sometimes needs a break. But it's like the Gabba Disco bass team is releasing on the main label. The second floor label is if we receive demos or if we have collaborations with other artists or for style.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at Thomas telling me that a flying mask just dissolved into my beard.
Oh, but there's maybe also an important question, not mainly just for you guys, but maybe for everybody. Do you also accept people into the Gabba Disco second floor for demos?
That's what it's made for, actually. It's open, stylistic, and also it's not meant for the core family. But we would like to receive more demos, really.
Yeah, so anybody listening who wants to send a demo, you're welcome.
And of course, now the main question is, where can they send it to?
Well, they can contact us via social media, via our link tree.
So, let's see, where's my camera? Oh, my camera's there. Okay, this way. Down there you can see the link tree. If you go to that website over there, you can see all the socials. You can find the Bandcamp, Spreadshirt, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. What's it called again? That orange thingy. What the fuck? I haven't used SoundCloud for ages. I actually forgot how it's called. So yeah, if you go over there, then you can find all the socials. And if you don't know how to contact them, you can always go to the gabberdisco.io/gabber. Discord.io/gabberdisco. Ask your question over there, then we can relay your questions back at them. No, Duckbuster is asking more release on the Spotify, please.
Yeah, I will update a bunch, but not completely yet.
So, the Duckbuster, there's your answer, and for Alone Unix as well. Yeah, do anybody still have some kind of questions that you want to ask? As we are still have like 15 minutes to go to the end of the show.
Before my phone dies again.
While we were talking, I saw one question disappear about musical influences, electronic and non-electronic, and yeah.
Oh, okay. No, that's a good question. Yeah, let's start with Marta then. What are your influences on music?
I draw influence actually from everywhere. I've always listened to wide style, and started collecting music in the 80s. Also more the extreme new wave and experimental releases, as well as 80s dance music. So I've always listened to a wide spectrum of styles, and I draw influence from everywhere.
Yeah, nice. Chris?
Yes, in the 90s, of course, there was happy hardcore all over the place. So I grew up with that. I think that influenced me the most as regarding to Gabba Disco. And of course, the 80s music, I think that's a big influence for me. Like I listened to George Michael, Prince, Michael Jackson, of course. Nice. And I think that shaped my my musical brain. But of course, it's really important to mention also the video games, like Final Fantasy. Let's say I like to play RPGs.
Yeah, those are the good kind of games, RPGs.
Yes, they are good music.
And Peter, how about?
In fact, I made a video game soundtrack once in the past. Oh. That was a really cool thing to do.
A video game soundtrack?
Yeah, it's an indie game called Dungeon Souls, and they came up to me because I had some demos online of my video game music, and I really wanted to work with me. So yes, RPG. Well, roguelike RPG.
And what platform? Steam?
Steam, yes.
Oh, okay. Have to look that up.
So.
And what's it called again?
Dungeon Souls.
Dungeon Souls.
Then,
Oh.
Dungeon Souls. So you can check on the the side, the chat. Dungeon Souls on Steam. Peter, what are your influences?
One of my main influences was one of my big sisters. She recorded some of her vinyl for me late 80s. She was I think nowadays we would call it a goth. And she was mainly listening to punk stuff and EBM, electronic body music, EBM, yeah. Not EDM, EBM, like Front 242 and Alien Sex Fiend and all that stuff. So I was kind of influenced by dark music pretty early. And then, without wanting to sound cheesy, one of my main influences was Martin. Because back in '94, I bought Return to Speed City, and that was a real game changer for me. Starting then, I tried to dig up as much stuff from him as possible, and yeah, he was one of my main influences.
Oh, Martin,
Love ya.
I see you have some kind of reaction over there.
Oh, it's really. Thanks, that goes down well.
Yeah, okay, but even for me, you're also a huge influence because back in the day in 2002, when I stopped listening to the regular hardcore and went to look for other kind of music, the Speedfreak was one of the top guys in my my favorite lists. So yeah, I have been a fan since the Brain Dead period, and when was that? It was like 2003, I think.
That was the last one, yeah. Started in 94, 95, the first Brain Dead.
I would say even 93, the first Brain Dead was pretty early.
And yeah, with that terrible cover.
It was awesome. I think it fitted the music pretty good.
I see the Melon has a question for Peter. What kind of phone do you have? And do you recommend this phone?
I have a Huawei P Lite something. Basically, I recommend it, but Discord actually draws a lot of power. It draws as much power as Tinder, actually. But I never managed to overheat my phone with Tinder.
So, yeah. Oh, Oren wants to have your Tinder.
I'm not on Tinder anymore. I'm married. I'm happy. I'm sorry.
So sorry, Oren. What? Sorry? Heartbroken. Oh yeah. I forgot.
Happens to me all the time.
I forgot that I still need to feed the cat. Somebody. Who was that? Oh damn. This goes to Power to All. So you have this one. So let's mark. Mic is muted. Okay. Yeah, this is for Banana. So you guys talk about something else, and I'm gonna feed my cat. So I'll be right back. So
What's happening on screen now?
What? Are we muted now?
no,
No.
you're not muted.
I'm not muted. Damn!
You guys are not muted. I just need to feed the cat.
Oh, you actually need to feed your real cat.
Yeah, that's actually a thing on my screen.
It's all part of the Gabba Disco show. Don't worry.
Okay, so what are we going to talk about now?
Did you feed your cat today?
Yes, of course. I recently changed the food I'm giving them, and they actually like it because it's not that saucy, it's more creamy, and they're really into it.
How's the smell?
The smell. I'm not sure. I think the meat is kind of the same as before, but it has like a mushroom sauce with it, and they like it.
Okay. Yeah, mine decided yesterday he now prefers dry food, and all the wet food I put there just stays there. Was one of these days for him.
Dry food is kind of a snack for my cats. I have 2 cats, by the way. And for regular meals, they have wet food, and the dry food is filled up like 24/7, and they just pass by, take a snack, and
Yeah, that's how I
go
mine.
over.
But he changed.
Did you notice that he starts eating more because it's getting cold again?
Yeah. Yeah, and the fur has changed completely. It's much
He's
more...
fattening up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's
Good cat.
now around 10 years.
Oh, my cat just stays inside to sleep. So I think he doesn't.
Oh, you
eat
two
that
have
much.
a cat?
I have a cat, one. It's
Okay,
a black white
is it-
one.
And is he staying in your flat all the time, or is he allowed to go outside?
Well, he's allowed to go outside, so he always asks if I can open the door.
Ah, okay.
And then maybe if he likes to come home, he comes home at around 12 o'clock. If he doesn't like to come home, he stays outside all night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, mine's only indoors.
So I am back.
And
feeding
we
the
are
cat is
talking
actually
about
a
cats.
thing on my stream.
Okay.
Because
Yeah, Super Euro Jimmy, we all have cats. That is part of the Gabba Disco concept. Because we are actually not that much of bad boys, but we still want to have pussy, so we all decided to get cats.
Okay, you broke my wife down back there. Wow.
I'm sorry that I broke your wife. You'll get a new one.
You got a new one.
What do you say? Only if we share? Yeah, apparently. So, yeah, we still have 7 minutes. So, do we have some more questions? Oh, Frozen Pyramid. How long do you produce again? What were the biggest changes during the time? And this is for everybody, I guess.
How long do you produce again?
Well, how long do you produce again? Okay, just quickly, Chris, how long are you producing?
I think I've been producing really since I was 13 years old, so that's now 23 years.
23 years, Peter?
Yeah.
I basically started in 1994. The biggest changes were when I switched from hardware to software. That was really weird in the beginning, don't having knobs. And was there another question? What DHW do I use? I started on something called Procyon. Then switched to Logic, and when it got defunctioned on PC, I switched to Cubase, and I'm still with Cubase, and I'm totally happy.
Okay. Chris, what are you using?
Yeah, I'm using FL Studio. And I've been so for 19 years.
If it works, it works.
Before that, I worked on trackers. I don't know if anybody remembers them, like Fast Tracker,
Mad Tracker.
Mad Tracker, Modplug Tracker. But I think really FL Studio really upped my game, especially in the melodies department, because it lets you enter the notes really easily.
Martin. How long have you been producing music? And yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Hundreds of years.
producing 32 years, releasing for 30 years now.
Have you been making music since the 1800s?
Before I played piano and a little bit of guitar, and yeah, my mother put me into guitar piano courses at age 4.
Yeah.
So this went through all my childhood with me. I played church organ here in the village and also later in my city in a bigger church, and lots of more embarrassing things. So basically, I always had to do with
But okay.
was switching from hardware. I had a huge studio to software, and it took me 2 years to kind of get used to work on PC. I'm using FL Studio for building elements for the tracks and do the final arrangement in Sony Acid, which is ages old, but it matches my music PC, which is 4 with WinXP for producing Gabba disco.
Oh, but you can play the organ, right?
Yeah.
So can you not arrange like that you play in a church and play some Gabba disco on the organ?
Sounds nice.
Ooh, how would that be? Like when people are going for their communion or for their bread and wine, that you play some Gabba disco tracks on the organ. That would be cool.
Yeah, actually when I was a child and had to play at Christmas in the church, everybody was complaining afterwards that I played O du Fröhliche way too fast. Speedfreak in my DNA, I don't know. Maybe that was where it started.
It started with that.
So, if we don't have any... Oh, Gabba Disco hymns mashup when? Oh, this may be an idea. To get all the religious music that you can find and make one religion core stuff. All the Final Fantasy church stuff.
Okay, if it gets to fantasy direction,
That's kind of cool.
consider it, but I would never do anything religious or political in my music because to me that's private business. And
Yeah, that is true. No, but my wife actually came up with a good idea to do because you have the Sephiroth theme. I don't know if you already used that from Final Fantasy VII. It is like some kind of gospel. Maybe you can put it somewhere in one of the future mixes.
Yeah.
I think Martin used it already. Yeah.
So old news.
Been there, done that.
Been there, done that.
Make them die slowly.
yeah, that's what I just said, Peter.
God damn it!
Melonpon has a question. Do you ever have any copyright strikes with Gabba Disco? Any
All
secrets
the time.
regarding special music licensing?
What is copyright again?
I heard about it.
It's I don't know. Isn't copywriting is like if you have a book and you write down everything what's written on the book on a separate book. That's copywriting, right?
Hey, everything we put out is original. We sing ourselves, we write the songs ourselves, so I don't think it's a problem.
So yeah, Gabba Disco is all, eh? Gabba Disco is life.
It's the thing.
So yeah, oh, okay. Let's do one more question. That is from Spiril Steilen. Do you guys have plans to play in Berlin in the near future? I mean, although Berlin is quite known for its hardcore underground scene, except me, I've not heard anything. I've not heard anybody playing Gabba Disco yet.
Yeah, we definitely plan on playing there.
But then you need to get booked. So
Yeah, exactly.
that is the best answer. They need to get booked for it. But yeah, I see that it's already time. Yeah, time flies by when we're having fun, and yeah, we can continue this like for 4 more hours. But we have to keep some content for the next time again.
Yeah, we can continue this and try how many times my phone has to die until it doesn't reboot again.
It doesn't reboot again.
But it seems since I turned it to the side, it works better now. It was only overheating when I had it upside down.
Oh, so you found a secret to your telephone.
Yeah, I will think about that while having another glass of whiskey.
Nice. So yeah, guys, thank you very much for joining into the Gabba Disco official stream for the
It
first
was
time.
our pleasure, yes.
So yeah,
Thank you so much for making this possible.
no, thank you guys for making this possible, so I can actually do a Gabba Disco stream with you guys. So
We all thank each other because we are awesome.
nice. Also to everybody out there, as you can see, Chris and Peter has a nice Gabba Disco shirt. Gabba Disco 105%. Martin has another shirt, but that is a secret stash for so far. And I also have the retro version, as you can see.
Thanks to DJ Paul for that shirt.
Thanks to DJ Paul for the shirt that Martin wears.
I'm wearing, yes.
And also, I have one shirt. If you like some Gabba Disco merch, definitely go to linktree/Gabba Disco and then go check your web store. Also, don't forget to check out the newest release on Gabba Disco upcoming Friday. And of course, check out all the other releases. So far, this is the end of the show, and once again, thank you very much to everybody here at Gabba Disco Night Live, and we'll definitely see you back the end of the last Tuesday of December again. So we are we are not doing a Christmas special, but we're not doing a Christmas special. So, yeah, to everybody out there, you can watch the VOD back on the Gabba Disco YouTube in a few days. So, that will be up over there. As for now, this is the end of the stream, and thank you very much for joining into the stream, and hopefully see you next time again. So, I will say, adios amigos!
Bye.
Gute Nacht.
See ya!
Good night.
Doei doei!
How ruthlessly absurd.
music now.
Start the styles
No, that's definitely not it.
Okay, try it again.
Here, try this. You'll love this.